Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I may be a little bit crazy. I may be a little bit wild. I may be a little bit insane. That is why they call me the maniac. And you know what? When you follow a team like the Detroit Lions, it is very, very, very understandable why I am a maniac. This week's thing, this week's contest, this week's fiasco, however you want to call it. As you see, I'm holding my mic. It isn't that I don't got one of these things. I'm holding it because I'm ticked off. Yeah, there's a lot of blame to go around. There's a lot of blame to go around, and yeah, all the other content creators, they have they have really talked about what went on. But with me, I hold one person, one person above all others as far as in why we got shut out. Now, I'm not saying this is the, I only hold him accountable on why we lost the game, but on why we got no points at all because we could have very easily gotten points. Very easily. There was no freaking reason why we got shut out. And no, it's not Aaron Glenn. He wasn't the reason we didn't get points. And no, it was not Ben Johnson. He was not the reason we did not get points. He was not the main person reason that we not did not get points. The main person I hold accountable is Dan Campbell. Yes. Yeah, and I know I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that's saying this. I mean, yeah, there was players that did not execute. They're all at fault. But the reason we didn't get any points at all, six, six, going for it 6 times on fourth down at times when it was asinine to do it. At times when our defense may have not have had a lot of stops for punts, but they were able to hold the opposite team, the Patriots, to field goals. But Dan Campbell decided he did not want to even try a kick. Go for it on fourth. Then above, he let Bill Belichick, even before the game started, he let Bill Belichick go ahead and take him out of his game. I learned a long time ago, that you got to play your game. You got to make them beat you at your game. But what did you do, Dan? What did you do? You went ahead and took yourself out of your game. You played conservative. When you needed to play like lightning. The number one offense went ahead and shot themselves in the foot because the direction of their head coach. Am I saying that Dan Campbell should be fired? I am not saying that at all. I'm saying he is a second year head coach, but he has made some questionable decisions. This is not the first time that going for it on fourth down cost us the game at the wrong time. Going for it at the wrong time. And one of those times was like against the Vikings. A fake punt against the way too early against the Eagles. A fake punt. Yeah, it kept us close, but it gave the Eagles the ball, which was already potent enough to score. They already had a potent enough offense, and it gave them the ball at short yardage to get a field goal, or not a field goal, but to get a touchdown. These decisions are his. And yes, he has owned a lot of these things. Like going for it a, a couple times against, Minnesota, and then not going for it when it made sense. Going for the field goal, which ended up putting us in a loss. So Dan Campbell, you got to be held accountable, and you got to change because only you can do it. Believe me, as a Lions fan, and that's what I am, and that's what I'm speaking to everybody as tonight, a Lions fan that's been frustrated over and over again, year after year. And we have put a lot of hope in you, Dan, that you could build this team, that you would make smart decisions. Yeah, you got them to compete the first couple games. But this game, you got them non competitive. Yeah, I could have seen if the Patriots were 4-1 or 3-1, but no, they were 1-4, just like we are. And I'll tell you, I also got a message for you, Matt, Patricia. Yes, your team won. And I'm not taking that away from you. But hell, you did not do any better for the Lions when you were the head coach. And you had a better team to start with than Dan did. You inherited a better team. And you ruined it. Now I'm just wondering how long we're going to need to put up with this. And how long is the fans willing to wait patiently? I mean, we have all been talking 2 years, or next year, they'll be a lot better. But when you see a game like we seen Sunday, when you seen that game, when you seen a team that was totally picked apart, and a coaching staff that totally had no clue on how to make a win, who didn't use the strengths that they had. I'll tell you, it wasn't worth watching. And as a Lions fan, we deserve better. So, Sheila, we know this is only his second year, but the fans are already calling for his head. A lot of them are. Some are just going ahead and blaming Aaron Glenn that his head should roll this week. I mean, I've heard that was what would put on Detroit Lions on the prowl. That Aaron Glenn or somebody's head should roll after this fiasco that we've seen. You can't blame the refs for this game. You got to blame the whole team, both offense and defense. But for the shutout, for the main thing, you got to go ahead and blame our head coach, Dan Campbell, because there's what we should have been able to score. And who knows if we would have been able to kick 2 field goals when the score was tied 3-3, or we could have had the score tied 3-3 or 6-6, because there was only 2 touchdowns that was scored. One was like off an interception or a fumble. One touchdown was scored, and there was only one touchdown scored by the offense. So there was no reason we should have gotten beaten or that the Lions should have got beaten 29-0. Most of that I give credit to is Dan Campbell. And that's the type of credit that he doesn't want. Okay. Moving on. You can't even say all of this was injuries. I'm looking at the schedule. Okay. I know we got the bye this week. All right. So we got the bye this week. And then of course we take on we go to Dallas. At Dallas. The red hot Dallas Cowboys. We go there. The team that I seen on the field yesterday has not a chance in hell in beating the Dallas Cowboys. And anybody who knows me at all, anybody knows that I don't pick the Lions to lose. But this team that I see is the Lions are going to, I think the Lions are going to get killed on that game. Oh, brother, it does, and that's at Dallas. Okay. Then, and that's October 23rd. October 30th, it really doesn't get much. Well, Dolphins are kind of, mm, yeah, Dolphins are a little bit, they've been a little banged up, so we might have a better chance. It's at Ford Field, but I'll tell you, if it's what I seen at New England, we don't have a chance there. Okay, just gotta. I mean, just be honest here. Just be honest. All right. Then we got November 6th. Okay. November 6th. Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. November 6th. Of course, all these games are at 1 p.m. our time. So those are our next three games. All right. Then we got the Chicago Bears at Chicago. That's a winnable game, but I don't know. It's not a guaranteed win. Following that, and that's of course November 13th, November 20th, we go to the New York Giants, the red hot New York Giants. The New York Giants that went ahead and beat the Green Bay Packers in London this week. The or the not undefeated New York Giants, but the one loss New York Giants. After that, we have Buffalo at Detroit Thanksgiving Day game. I'll tell you what, I do not, from just what I'm seeing here, and as you guys know, even before this week, I downgraded my predictions as far as what I thought the Lions could do as far as for a season's wins, and I was going for it to be 10 wins or greater. But in looking at this schedule and looking at who they play and looking at the way the Lions have played and see that's what I gotta base my hey. Ending. What do you think about the ending of OG Kansas City? I really didn't see that ending. Um, Janice, I really didn't see that ending. To tell you the truth, I I did see that they lost or that Oakland won. Oakland or not one. Oakland lost to KC by 1 point. So I really didn't see the ending, but by 1 point they only lost. So, geez. Um, and I said Oakland. What the hell? I meant Las Vegas Raiders. Man, I need to take some pills or something. So, what did you think about that? The ending. Give me your thoughts. I mean, when I barely got home in time to do anything, any research when I came on that game. Yeah. But yeah, Kansas City, what they're okay. Let me see. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get a little bit of information. Uh, okay. I'm sure I'm not getting a. Okay, there's only one way to do this. Play the ending of the Monday night game today. I think I just found it. Let me get a real quick. Oh nope, that's not the right game. Damn. Ending of the Monday night. Right. Oh, sorry, I had the mic off. Was this a controversial ending? I mean, I really.
Here come the Raiders, though. Devontae Adams into the end zone. What seems like sets the Raiders up for a tie. But Josh McDaniels, with 4.5 minutes to go ish, decides to go for two and the lead. But Josh Jacobs is stopped short. Still don't like that call. Nope. Last chance for the Raiders. 4th and 1 going up. Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow run into each other. Adams frustrated beyond belief. Chiefs hang on to win 30-29. Derek Carr, 19 of 30, 241 yards and 2 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, even better, 29, 43, 200.
All right, okay. I just turned on NFL Network. Okay, why the hell would you go for 2 points? Take the damn tie. Live to fight a little bit. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's great if it works out. If it would have worked out, oh yeah, everybody would have been like, hell yeah, that was a great call and stuff like that. But the likelihood of that 2 point conversion is usually very unlikely unless you're playing against the Lions defense. I'm sorry. I got to rag on the Lions this time because hey, the Lions just they really, and then it looked like two guys ran into each other at the end. But the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders, lost by 1 point, and I mean, who knows what they could have done if they would have forced that into overtime. So, I mean, I think it was a stupid call. I think that was one of those things that one of those things that could get a coach fired too, for sure, because this definitely could happen. Uh, I don't think you're. I don't know if you're still with me. Okay, but thank you for the question. I do appreciate it. All right, and another thing that I want to say is, yeah, we had the first head coach was fired this year, Leo Lyons. All right, he was fired from the Carolina Panthers. All right, I mean it's game 5. Carolina just said we had enough. We had enough. You're not getting the job done. You're not doing we're what we brought you in to do. We had enough. All that's said. That's all that needs to be said. We had enough. So we will look elsewhere. I'm sure there was an interim coach appointed. Um, wow. But this is sorry. I do hope to be next time. I'm going to be a lot better prepared with a lot of the stuff that I bring you. Uh, Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for the questions. For the question. Uh, Please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Um, of course, you can, you know, I got somebody that's watching me on Twitch, and hey, that's great. Um, Places you can find me. The main push that I mean, one of the places you can find me is, of course, Facebook. Um, look up Tens Maniac Sports on YouTube. That's where I'm really trying to push and get subscribers. Also, you can follow me on Twitch, Maniac Sports Twitch. Uh, I didn't get home in time. Otherwise, I would have had Smoking Jeremy on my show again. But he has to work in the early in the morning, so he 12:30 was just a little bit too late for him. I'm looking forward to bringing more guests on. Uh, Rashawn was from work. Our Raiders guy was not able to be here. Uh, he was busy eating Taco Bell. Oh, no, I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, this is. I'm going to end this stream tonight because I had my rant. Thank you guys once again. I've been on here for 30 minutes. Uh, oh, I did want to go over the wins and losses at least this week in the NFL before I leave. Week number 5. Week number 5 of 18. Okay. Of course, you had the snore. The first game of the week was a snore fest. Not a touchdown was scored by either team. The Colts ended up beating the Broncos by a score of 12-9. From what I heard from even the announcers of that game, that it was like a whole 3 hours they could never get back in in their life again. So people really thought that was a waste of talent and a real boring game, from what I heard. Um, then you had the New York Giants ended up defeating the Green Bay Packers in London. It was, I think, the New York Giants' third trip, and they have won all 3 of them. This was the Green Bay Packers' first trip. Uh, it was a nail biter kind of to the end, in my opinion. The and this is just my opinion, but the Packers did get spotted 7 points at the beginning, and that's what the announcer said too. That it should have just been like but they gave them offensive pass interference, which allowed them to get that first touchdown. So, but even with them being spotted, uh, 7 points, it still wasn't enough for the Packers to win. Of course, the fiasco in New England, Lions 0, Bill Belichick's team, New England Patriots 29. Then you also had Chargers. They defeated the Browns by a score of 30-28. Texans defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 13-6. In a very, 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 very controversial game or ending. All right. And this was partly due to the new enhanced rules for concussions, but at least that's what the refs are saying on why they called this. The Falcons ended up losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They called unnecessary or unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness, whatever it was. The Atlanta Falcons had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stopped, but from a wimpy penalty. And yes, I'm still going to say, even though it's Maniac Sports, but from a wimpy penalty, uh, they ended up giving Tom Brady the first down to actually run out the clock. So that's what ended up happening there. Okay, and let's get back to the scores. We want to finish these up. Steelers. Steelers lost to the Bills. Steelers are lost to the Bills by a score of 3-38, and I think they have only won one game this whole year. This is the worst start that the Steelers have had in a long ass time. Dolphins ended up getting manhandled by the Jets. It was 17 Dolphins, 40 the Jets. Chicago was not very welcomed over into U.S. Bank Stadium as they fell to the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 22-29. Titans ended up beating the Commanders 21-17. Oh, how the mighty Commanders have fallen! I remember when it kind of looks like last week was a fluke. Um, although Seattle was able to put up a whopping 32 points, they ended up losing to the Saints by a score of 32-39 at New Orleans Saints. All right. Um, okay, this is one that the Panthers coach is never going to forget. Um, 49ers went ahead and defeated the Panthers by a score of 37-15. Uh, that was the last straw of the Carolina ownership. They went ahead and cut ties with their coach. First coach fired this year. Um, then you had the Red Hot Eagles. They ended up defeating the really very, very good Cardinals by a score of 20-17. Rams, well, Dallas was very overly matched against the Rams. Rams, I don't see them winning Super Bowl again or repeating, but Rams ended up losing that game 22-10. All right. Cincinnati Bengals ended up losing to the Ravens, 17-19, and of course 29-30. The Raiders ended up losing due to bad coaching decisions. I think, but who am I? Ended up losing by a score of 29-30. 1 point decides the winner and loser in that game. In that, I'm just going to go ahead and tell everybody good night. Thanks once again for watching my stream. Make sure anybody who can hit that like button. Tell your friends about this channel. More to come. I'm working on getting a couple more guests and getting things set up. Hopefully I'll be able to have Jeremy on the show again. We just gotta find a time that works for both of us. In that, I'm gonna say, everybody enjoy your week. Just remember, hey, we don't need to go through the Lions this week. We can regroup. Who knows what will happen once we get, hopefully they come back healthy. If DeAndre Swift can go ahead and come back after the bye, who knows if Jameson Williams, they had been talking that he's ready, but he's ready. What kind of factor and element that they add to this team too? We cannot just say that they're going to play better because they got embarrassed, because I've been thinking that the last couple weeks, and they were unable to really. God. Yeah, I gotta get out of here. You guys all have a good night. Thank you very much. Thanks again, Shelby Bell, and of course, Janet is her name. She's also somebody that I know from my work, and no, I'll never tell anybody where I work out here. All right, this is Maniac Tim signing off.